And when you smile for all the little girls in the audience, you can open your mouth. You got some teeth missing too, don't you?
Can I remind you of one thing? It's
I know I do every time. You tell me every time. Right. And then what you should do is, like Bunny Valentine, after you do great crooners from the past to a deceased. I'm discouraged. I'm down. Darling. Really, God bless you, darling. What are you discouraged about? Louie's magnificent.
I can't pay my alimony.
So I'm telling you, I'll waive my commissions till we get rolling, that's all.
How are you going to live? You got to eat.
Don't worry about me so much, will you? For God's sake, I got other acts, and, I think about you in the long run. That's what I'm saying. You're the kind of guy that will always make a beautiful dollar in this business. You know what I mean? You're what I call a perennial. You get better looking as you get older.
It's true. When I'm out there singing, I can feel the women mentally undressing me. It's true.
This is the moment you've awaited, Miss Fellows. That will be my esteemed, but not by me, employer. I will now demonstrate to you how a man of integrity brings an almost insoluble situation to a triumphant conclusion. The Reverend T. Lawrence Shannon speaking. Well, Mr. Blake, how are you? Nice of you to call. Wish you were down here with us. The air is like spring wine down here at this time of the year. What do you mean, am I on the sauce? You know me better than that, Mr. Blake. I don't care what any judge in Corpus Christi says. You know and I know that I'm a regularly ordained minister of the gospel. Now, wait a minute, you big fat zero. Let me tell you something. A tour conductor is like the captain of a ship. Once the bus leaves the terminal, he is in sole command. And let me assure you that Shannon runs a taut bus. A very taut bus. I've taken it past deadly shoals and all the perils of the deep. Figuratively speaking, of course. And I remain in command. I have here in my pocket the symbol of my command. Right here in my pocket. You cannot fire a man who has the distributor head. Shannon can fire Blake's tours, but Blake's tours cannot fire Shannon. This tour will end in peace and unity. Shannon will emerge triumphant.
Stolen property, and 22% of those who were arrested for robbery. Can you imagine it? Well, now people wonder, well, how come the law doesn't put a stop to it? Well, you ought to know that by the very moment you hear the question put, because you read the newspapers, you hear the news broadcasts. How can the law stop it when there are weak laws with no force behind them? And how can it be stopped when the parents and the citizens themselves insist on having a casual, informal type of a courtroom system with no backbone, no conviction in it? You've heard of the one outstanding judge who recently ordered some young teenagers whacked soundly on the posterior in his courtroom, and then also instituted a program of having them go out and clean up beach areas and streets and the like to teach them a lesson. You know, he's in Chicago, and some teenagers came sauntering into his bench one day accused of certain crimes. He could see they were all hostile, rebellious, long haircuts with their black leather jackets and boots and the like, mimicking some particularly noxious actor who is known to go cavorting around on motorcycles, at least on the screen. I don't know if he does in private life. And they all want to mimic him and so on. And so, of course, the judge wouldn't even hold. Under those conditions, he ordered every last one of the boys to go get a real good, clean, butch haircut. Take all the long, greasy-looking locks off of them. Get them a good, scoured, clean, scrubbed look. And then he had them come back into the courtroom, this time with their parents. Then he ordered the bailiff to take the leader of the gang, bend him over a desk, and really whack him good and soundly a few times, you know. He just wasn't much of a hero in the eyes of his fellows after that. And then he had them out gathering up cans. Well, you know, they really learned to like it. And at the last report, the boys had straightened up a good deal. They learned somewhat of a lesson. Well, you know, with a little bit of teeth in it, there's something to it after all, some conviction. But because most parents have been following the precepts of child psychology, of progressive education, of don't punish them, you're liable to sort of pervert or twist their growth and development, then children have a feeling of absolute freedom, of do what you please. You can get away with it. Teachers are saying that the idea depicted by articles in the movie called Blackboard Jungle are not rare occurrences which seldom affect a school, but are the rule in most big D schools of today. In some schools, it isn't safe for teachers to walk the hallways except in pairs for their own physical protection. A high school teacher in San Diego, California said, and I quote, "I've heard several boys say in my class their one ambition is to kill a cop." Think of it, teenagers, young hoodlums saying they want to kill a cop. "I've seen switchblade knives in my room," she said, and had sent boys to the principal's office with them. Juvenile authorities repeatedly tell of the attitudes of juveniles who, when brought to court, show utter contempt for constituted authority, and no wonder. Because it seems that the childish procedure is that law enforcement agencies must avoid at all costs giving youthful criminals any sense of guilt over their actions. Don't make...
One shall not have sex with a step-sister or a step-brother. One shall not have sex with an uncle or an aunt. And then it goes beyond family ties. It's right there. I'm giving you the Bible. One shall not have sex with his neighbor's wife or husband. They shall not swap wives. Brother, America's full of wife swappers. And then it says, one shall not have sex with the person of the sex, two women or two men. It's the Word of God. If a man lies with mankind as he lieth with a woman, abomination on him. Look at it. Leviticus 20:13. This is the Bible I'm preaching. Now, I'm not picking on any one group. I'm not classifying on any one category. I'm preaching on immorality. But adultery in God's commandments applies to all kinds of sin. Oh, fornication floods the land. 50,000 girls, 12 and 13 years of age, are going to have illegitimate babies. May it popular to try sex and live together for a while. It may be, but no fornicator, one who practices premarital sex, enters the kingdom of heaven. 1 Corinthians 6:9. No one who practices adultery, wife swapping, enters the kingdom of heaven. 1 Corinthians 6:9 and 10. We could name everything having to do with immorality. Dirty movie houses, pornography, filthy magazines. This is the sex age, and many of you say it's all in one's mind. My God says you cannot do these things and go to heaven. For this you know that no whoremonger, woman chaser, or unclean person, one who's always telling dirty, smutty, sexy stories, or the covetous man who's an idolater, he makes the dollar his God, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ.
Great day for the captain. Great.
Page 54. Sharp-tailed grouse.
The Grand Wizard of Wrestling.
Well, you heard Zabisco admit it. He had no authority. He was not a referee. He is not a sheriff. There's no star on his chest. He's not a dog catcher. He's a nothing who stuck his nose into the match. He interjected his body. He touched the world champion, the man who owns this belt, and now he's going to pay for it, McMahon. It is just that simple. Correct, champion of all champions?
The man will pay with a lesson. A long lesson. 60-minute time limit. Is that right? 60-minute time limit. One fall, 60 minutes. It's going to last exactly 59 minutes, 57 seconds. That's how long I'm torture you. That's how long I'm going to hurt you. That's how long I'm going to embarrass you, humiliate you. The full length. With 3 seconds left, I'm going to use those 3 seconds to pin you. I'm going to use the reverse step over cradle to pin you, Larry Zabisco. And then I'm going to stick my big size 14 shoe down your throat, stuff it down your nose, and make you uglier than you already are. And all the world, especially Manchester, will know I am the greatest, and the Wizard is my manager.
the infamous Louis Albano.
You know, Vince McMahon, I've heard that Strongbow went out of his way to ask for this to happen. Now, I don't know why. Perhaps I'm upset about it. Wondering why. The man has something on it. He's got a mixed up, twisted mind, mentally off, unbalanced. But it's only for this match. If I can have Patera follow my orders implicitly, he will do the greatest favor in the world. This man has been a thorn in my side. He has hurt me. He has scarred me. He has marred me. And if I can have my man Ken Patera, the world's strongest human being, apply that hole to the back of the neck of Jay Strongbow and to squeeze and apply pressure and pop the neck the way he did Billy White Wolf, have the neck pop and have the man crawl on the floor and have the man sprawl and hurt a man and look down and the captain will come up and say, there he is, Jay Strongbow, a broken hulk of a man, and I'll look upon the man and I'll put my cigarette out right in his face. I'll be glad. I'll be happy. Yes, I'll be happy.
Are the people, of the people. That is one of the biggest faults that could ever be made. Rude. If the lady wasn't in the room, which I don't think is necessary, my body at present have cigar burns, cigarette burns all over it. My testicles at times bother me now from cigarette butts, sticks, rifles, laying on the table with my head.
Now let's concentrate. Have you been trailing Firefly?
Have we been trailing Firefly? Why, my partner, he's got a nose just like a bloodhound.
Really?
Yeah, and the rest of his face don't look so good either. Look, we find out all about this Firefly. Here, look at this.
Ah, very good, very good. Wait a minute. We must not be disturbed. And now, gentlemen, please, will you tell me what you found out about Firefly?
Well, you remember you gave us a picture of this man and said follow him?
Oh, yes.
Well, we get on the job right away. And in the 1 hour, even in less than 1 hour.
Yes?
We lose the pics. That's a pretty quick work, eh?
But I asked you to dig up something I can use against Firefly. Did you bring me his record? Now, Ciccolini, I want a full, detailed report of your investigation.
All right, I tell you. Monday, we watch the Firefly's house, but he no come out. He wasn't home. Tuesday, we go to the ball game, but he fool us. He no show up. Wednesday, he go to the ball game, or we fool him. We no show up. Thursday was a doubleheader. Nobody show up. Friday, it rained all day. There was no ball game. So we stayed home. We listened to it over the radio.
Then you didn't shadow Firefly.
Oh, sure, we shadow Fire. We shadow him all day.
But what day was that?
Saturday. That's some joke, eh, boss?
Now, will you tell me what happened on Saturday?
I'm glad you asked me. We followed this man down to a roadhouse. And at this roadhouse, he meet a married lady.
A married lady?
Yeah, I think it was his wife.
Firefly has no wife?
No?
No.
Then you know what I think, boss?
What?
I think we followed the wrong man.
Oh, gentlemen, I am disappointed.
What's all this?
It's an island of sanity, this car. An island in a world of pain. I'm an exile waiting at the ice pick. You do know about the ice pick, don't you?
No, 6:35 on the morning.
It's him that got it. Trotsky. Right there. Right in the back of his skull. Leon Trotsky. Co-founder of the Russian Revolution. Creator of the Red Army. Great revolutionary thinker. Bingo! Right on top of the map. Joe Stalin kicked Trotsky out of his mother country. 17 years in exile he was. That wasn't good enough for Joe. No. He wanted Trotsky dead. Now then. That's Trotsky. This is the ice pick.
a burning-hot day in Mexico. Stalin's agent has wormed his way into Trotsky's house among his wife and friends. And they're both alone in the great man's study. Trotsky is sitting behind his desk. Quietly, the killer creeps up behind him.
I was going to boil that. You can have it poached. Do hurry up, Mr. Doe. There'll be in a bit of a hurry when they get here, so if you've got anything to say, I should say it now. Have you got anything to say?
Yep.
Either I've gone deaf or you're not saying it.
Hang on a minute, I can't quite remember.
All right, what do you want? Son, I need a friend. That's me. That's her. That's her brother Fred.
You're Holly's father?
Her name ain't Holly. She was Lula Mae Barnes. Was till she married me. I'm her husband, Doc O'Lightly.
Paul Varjak.
I'm a horse doctor, animal man. Do some farming, too, near Tulip, Texas. Her brother Fred's getting out of the army soon. Lula Mae belongs home with her husband, her brother, and her children.
Children?
Them's her children.
She's got 4 children.
Now, son, I didn't claim they was her natural-born children. Their own precious mother, precious woman, passed away July the 4th, Independence Day, 1955, the year of the drought. When I married Lula Mae, she was going on 14. Now, you might think the average person going on 14 wouldn't know their own mind. But you take Lula Mae, she was an exceptional person. I'll tell you, son, she just plumb broke our hearts when she ran off like she done. Just plain had no reason. All the housework was done by her daughter. Lula Mae could just take it easy. I tell you, a woman got positively fat. Well, her brother, he grew up into a giant. It's a sight different from the way they come to us. Couple of wild youngins, they was. I caught them outside the house, too.
Not this time, Charlie.
Well, what's the matter? You know I'm good for the money.
Only if you fight.
So I'll fight.
And it's got to be Marlowe. Leave the door open, you dope.
You crazy coming in here in front of everybody?
It's a gym. People come and go here. Besides, I'm an admirer of yours. I like to watch you train. So you're all set for the Marlowe match?
Yeah, we're all set.
That's great. The odds are 2-1 for you to win. It's a lot of dough if you bet on Marlowe.
I ain't handing no title over to any kid. I can beat him.
Betting on yourself to win, Charlie? I didn't think you were punch drunk yet.
Well, I think I can beat him.
You're not thinking, Charlie. You're dreaming. It's only natural after all these years of living good. Fight now and then, the dough rolling in and the dough rolling out. You begin to dream this can go on forever.
When I lose the championship, they'll have to carry me out.
This gym is full of guys who were carried out.
Mr. Roberts is right, Charlie. You'd like to see me take a dive, wouldn't you?
No, why should I? There's been money in the bank to me, but facts are facts, Charlie.
Yeah? How much of my money you got in the bank, Quinn?
How much you got, Charlie? There's 60 grand in there. You want to count it? 60 grand. A clean, fast fight. 15 rounds to a decision. 60 grand at 2-1. You're under the purse at 2-1. I'm good at figures, Charlie. It'll add up to a fortune. Besides, you don't like fighting anymore. You like living too much. So why not live the easy life? Maybe open a cafe with this singer, what's her name? Alice. Yeah, Alice. You punch the cash register instead of getting punched. You got a million friends, Charlie. You can't miss. All right, Charlie. Let's stop being nice to each other. We agreed to make a killing on this fight months ago. You're into me for a lot of dough. I made my arrangements with Marlowe and a lot of other people. Nobody backs out now. That's the way it is. Besides, a lot of guys think Marlowe can beat you on the square.
I don't take no dive for nobody. What do you think I am, a tanker?
Who's asking you to take a dive? 15 rounds to a decision.
15-round decision?
That's right. When you get ready to bet that dough, Charlie, see that you give it to me to bet for you. I'll get you a few extra points.
Finally, do remember to tolerate your friends' friends, however alien and peculiar they may seem to you. Don't.
Doesn't Cousin Midge's face look swollen?
Well,
that's because she's pregnant.
Is that why?
I think it's irresponsible. To have children, I mean. Well, somebody's got to have children, Jackie. We can't let the rest die out.
The babies grow up to look like you. That must be fun.
Mother malice, strangle violence, suppress prejudice.
Oh, here's Montag.
Be tolerant today. Remember, being just pretty is not enough. The wife who uses translucid knows better than that. Try some today, but watch out for your friend's husband. They'll be round like flies.
Come on.
Now, how's about going to the Empire State Building with me?
I'll have that coffee now.
Didn't answer my question. Would you like to visit the Empire State Building?
No, not really.
Well, how about the zoo?
Not just now.
Will you marry me?
What?
Just a bit of shock treatment there. I have found, after long experience, it's the quickest way to get a woman's attention when her mind wanders. Always works.
Mr. Burns?
Oh, no. Now that you've cried, you can't call me Mr. Burns. Same thing goes for laughing. My name is Murray.
Well, Murray, to sort of return to reality for a moment.
I'll only go as a tourist.
Murray, the Child Welfare Board could really take Nick away. But there's some things that you could do about it to make your case a little stronger.
Sandra, do you realize you are not wearing your shoes?
Well, here I am with some of my favorite books. Fun in the Rain, The Young Railroader, Great Philosophers, Science for Youth, and a Spanish dictionary. See, what I did was I left them out on the street when I was playing, and I
Nick,
thought...
you just killed a whole month's allowance for nothing. Miss Markowitz isn't even on our case anymore.
I shouldn't have left. You got angry and insulted everybody.
Nothing to worry about.
Well, $4 right out the window. We're in real trouble now, right, ladies?
Nick! We have a guest, a music lover. Let us play our song. Come on, I'm sure it'll be requested.
Murray, you know, we can't play songs at a time like
Come on, old man, where's your professional attitude?
Murray, we cannot. This is no time to play songs. Please.
Yes, sir.
Murray.
That's my baby. No, sir. I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir. That's my baby. Yes, sir. We've decided no, sir. We won't hide it.
Mr. Burns? Mr. Burns, I must apologize to you. We have put you... You have been put at a disadvantage this morning, Mr. Burns. It's because you've been involved in a personal problem that has nothing whatsoever to do with your particular case. It's entirely wrong for me to give you this impression of our... Do you know what?
What?
I hate the Ledbetters.
Well, I'm sure once I got to know them, I'd hate them too.
Mr. Burns, you don't understand. Some of the cases I love and some of them I hate. And that's all wrong for my work. But I can't help it. I hate Raymond Ledbetter, and he's only 9 years old. But some of them I like too much, and I worry about them all day long. It is an obvious conflict against all professional standards. I didn't like Raymond Ledbetter, so I tried to understand him, and now that I understand him, I hate him.
Can I get you a cup of coffee?
That was a good movie. Yeah, seen here before once. Hey, why don't we run over to Wichita and drink a little beer, huh? Okay. I got lots of time till morning. Sure. Well, so long, Miss Mosey. Sorry you're closing the show.
Nobody wants to come to shows no more. Did baseball in the summer, television all the time. Sam had lived. I believe we could have kept it going. But I just didn't have the know-how.
Won't be much to do in town when the picture show closed. Yeah. Well, so long.
Dwayne, you watch out now overseas.
Not much of a wedding night, huh?
Nope. Not much of one.
Here, have a little drink of bourbon. It'll pick you up. Take all of it. I'm going to drive. You won't believe this, Sonny, but you're lucky we got you clear of her quick as we did. You've been a lot better off staying with Ruth Popper.
But does everybody know about that?
Of course. Sound like a good deal to me, kiddo. Shouldn't let J.C. turn your head.
Well, she's prettier. I guess I shouldn't have, though. I guess I treated her terrible.
Yes, you did.
Sure weren't out of Texas very long.
Well, Oklahoma's not much of an improvement.
It's not the same now. Nothing's really been right since Sam the Lion died.
No, it hasn't. I get sad if I think of Sam for long. Did you know he had beautiful hands?
I guess you liked him, didn't you? I guess everybody.
Montag. I knew it. I knew it. Of course, all this... The existence of a secret library was known in high places, but there was no way of getting at it. Only once before have I seen so many books in one place. I was just an ordinary fireman at the time. I wasn't even qualified to use the flamethrower. It's all ours, Montag. Listen to me, Montag. Once to each fireman, at least once in his career, he just itches to know what these books are all about. He just aches to know, isn't it so? Well, take my word for it, Montag. There's nothing there. The books have nothing to say. Look, these are all novels. All about people that never existed.